Welcome everyone to this week's News and Booze edition from the Summerland Advocate-Messenger. It's a little wind down Wednesday for me this week. I'm drinking a wonderful Chardonnay. Scott's got his...
The famous bush latte.
his standby, right?
Yep.
Yep. So we're going to take a sip and dive in, right?
Uh-huh. We could dive in. I just had a sip, but I'll take another second.
Oh, we have some things we want to share this week. Like, there's so many activities going on right now. It's track season, golf season, end of the year activities.
Asparagus season, mushroom season.
Yeah.
If we would just get some rain.
Exactly. I can't wait to have some wild asparagus.
Or some rain.
Or some
we
rain.
can't wait because it's going to get... We
Yeah.
need rain right now.
Definitely. Well, we're going to jump in. I want to talk about a picture on the front page of this week's paper. And when we were out delivering, it's actually up at the top. It's of Ruger Switzer competing at high jump at the Norfolk Classic last week. And maybe Scott will come up and show you a little bit more of it. And then I'm going to explain about it because you know how they say a picture's worth 1,000 words?
Well,
And that's usually true. But if you, sometimes like the details don't completely come through. And that's kind of what happened on this picture, which I absolutely love. The look on Ruger's face as he's going over the high jump bar. But one of the things is he has on a cross necklace. And if you could see the picture, and if you look really close, you can see it on here. But that cross is like flying across the bar with him. And maybe you have to see it to appreciate it. So I'm going to post it on Facebook later because it is one of the coolest pictures I've seen. There's just, sometimes you have to look for those little tiny details, and that's, when I had it up on my Mac, that was like one of the first things I saw was that cross flying out, almost like it was an extension of him.
yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of times when you see pictures in the paper, they're not what gets sent to the printer. It kind of distorts things.
Sometimes the colors are different, but
Most of the time it's halfway close, but some of the more details are kind of like left out, and colors are.
So, thanks Ruger. Love that picture. It's actually.
Is he a senior?
He is.
Oh, another senior.
He will be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is graduation week at Summerland.
How many seniors are there this year?
There are 41.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
You know how many I had?
How many?
12.
I had 24.
I had 12 and 2 are deceased already.
Oh.
So I've only got 10 left.
I had
So make sure you attend your alumni banquet because
alumni. Yeah.
alumni banquet because you don't know how much time you got left to spend with the person that you grew up with for 4 years or
13
years or whatever.
I think 3 of my classmates are deceased.
Yeah, but you're old.
Older than you.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, but graduation is Saturday at 3 o'clock out at the school in the main gym. And we'll cover that live. We'll have a live stream going on Facebook in case you can't make it. I don't know, I was thinking about graduation. Yeah, I know I graduated like 46 years ago. But That's not that far behind. 39.
39 years
Right.
ago.
I graduated on a Sunday afternoon. Clay Center always used to have graduation on Sunday afternoons. And I just remember the gym was packed. It was hotter than all get out that day. The gym did not have air conditioning. And, yeah.
Yeah, like I say, we had 12 in our class at the time, and so if we opened up the doors on the gym, we'd have a little breeze going through there. It wasn't that many people in there.
Yeah. I worked in the high school principal's office when I was a senior. I was his teacher aide, and I just remember when I got my diploma, he gave me a hug and he said, "Who's going to run the office next year?" It's like, you get paid the big bucks, I guess you will.
I just kind of remember it as being such a relief to get the hell out of there.
To be done with school.
Yeah.
Sure.
I hated homework. I loved history and science, and that was probably the only two classes I ever liked, and the rest of them I just had no desire for, and I just wanted to be done with school so I could get in the workforce. And yeah, I'm still here and probably going to be here till I'm 80 years old working in the workforce.
Yeah. I went to college. I went to Hastings College and went to Northwestern University and got my master's degree and took classes at Wayne. And I love school, obviously, because I feel like I've been in school my whole life. But
She's still not educated.
oh, okay, whatever. But I do think that education is so important, and people don't always realize it. Like, I can still hear my dad telling me, "This is your job. High school is your job, and that's how you're going to learn a work ethic." And I had a job outside of high school in the summers too, but I do agree that, school is a job a lot of times, and how you tackle it kind of can be an indicator of your future success. But I also think
a lot of kids don't realize they can go to a trade school
absolutely
and learn carpentry, electrician, building. There is such a shortage of plumbers
trades,
and electricians that
yeah.
And you can go to them schools and learn all that stuff in a couple of years.
Some of them are only a year diploma program, so that's...
And you're making pretty good money and not spending $1 million to go for 4, and then you get out and you can't find a job.
Right. Yeah, I do think that, I encourage anybody to try college, but that doesn't mean you have to go to a 4-year school. I mean,
Right.
I think if a 4-year, a 2-year, a 1-year diploma program, what will work best for you and what will work for your finances and your job aspirations, honestly. I feel like when I was in high school, the big push was you have to go to university. You have to go to a 4-year college, and
it was back then.
Right, and I don't really think that's
No.
necessarily the case now. I mean, there's quite a few kids in this graduating class who are going to enter the workforce, and kudos to you. I mean, that's great. And actually, I was talking about this with a friend, Mike Tabbert from Two Bills Steakhouse here in Clearwater, and we were talking about taking a gap year. Like, I would have loved that, to graduate and have a year, to get my stuff together, because I was 17 when I graduated from high school.
I was 25.
Okay.
No.
He wasn't. He's not telling the truth.
No, I was 18.
That was fake news. The 25.
Fake news.
But I do think, you can learn a lot about yourself. I just know I had a lot of friends who went to college and they didn't know what they wanted to do with their life. And maybe felt like they wasted some time in college. Yeah, so.
Well, like they say, to find something you love to do, and you'll never have a job the rest of your life.
Yeah. Although I always tell everybody that when I'm 90, which, yes, it is a ways away, despite what he'll tell you, I'm still going to be sitting in there putting out the Advocate-Messenger every week, typing away. Hopefully our granddaughter Rebecca likes journalism. She likes to help with commercial printing. I'm really hoping one of the grandkids gets the journalism bug and comes and helps. I think by that time journalism will really change. We see some of that now, but
like online. And while we're talking about online,
yeah,
to the people that are not getting their mail.
Absolutely. We talked about this last week. If you're a print subscriber, you get the e-edition. That's part of the package deal. Go ahead and give us a call. We'll get that set up for you. And you never know when you're going to need the e-edition because
you go on vacation,
right,
and don't get your paper before you leave, or
right, and you can read everything online. We do have a paywall on our website because contrary to what some people think, it does cost money to produce a newspaper and a website. There are expenses there. So we do have a paywall. And, I pay for news. I subscribe to a couple different newspapers and read them online daily. Some of them are weekly. And I just, for what you're paying for it, it's not a bad deal.
no.
So yeah, we do encourage you to set up your e-edition if you are a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber and you would like to subscribe, think about the e-edition. It's a good way to stay in touch with the Summerland area.
It's in your hand, and
exactly.
And what is it all up? Wednesday afternoon?
It was up at 9 o'clock this morning.
Oh,
this week.
You did good this week.
But I stayed up till midnight so it could get online by 9 a.m. today. Speaking of online, I just want to highlight another story. Last Thursday, and I wish more people could have come to it. Jay Martin from the Nebraska Department of Education was out at Summerland, and he talked to 6th graders through seniors about, let's look up from our phones. And so much of what he said was, I think we know it in the back of our mind, but phones are addicting. Technology is addicting. Like, we rely on that so much I rely on my phone, email. Like today we were out delivering the paper and somebody messaged me and said, hey, have you checked your email? I sent you something that needs to be printed. And yeah, okay. I check my email, we upload on social media. We are on it a lot for work, but outside of work, I find myself on it probably more than I should be. That's kind of a rude awakening when you have an iPhone and every Sunday morning it tells you what your average online time was on your phone every day that week.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So this article, I kind of feel like it just skims the surface about what Jay's message was, but it was eye-opening about how addicting phones and technology are. So encourage you to take a look at that. We have the new coloring contest up. That's for any age. Excuse me. What we do is we have a new picture every month and people submit them. We usually average about 10 submissions a month. And the funny thing is, like, I turn this over so we don't see their names. And then I have a blind judge, and I don't mean they can't see. I mean, somebody comes in and they judge them without knowing who colored what, and then we give prizes. And I think they get pretty good prizes. A lot of them have to do with creativity and art, although I think the basketball pillow was a pretty big hit that month when that young man won. But this month there's a color chart, and it's kind of a color in by numbers. You don't have to follow that, but I encourage you to check that out. And then we have all the outstanding academic awards, their photos and what awards they won. So good job, kids. We didn't get the junior high in there yet, and there's still more to come. So some bigger awards from the academic awards, so be on the lookout for that. Next week will be a packed paper because we'll have the special graduation section with every senior's photo and where they're going to college, and they'll answer a couple questions, and we'll have pictures from graduation. And yeah, there'll be a lot of interesting things in next week's paper, so I think I need a drink.
Stay tuned. I'm out of beer. I got to go to the cooler and get one.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.